Tonight on the Big D and J Rowdy show, Rowdy wins his grudge race. I didn't do a damn thing, and we pull your random topics.
All right. We're back again. This is turning into a weekly thing. And
it goes a lot better when I'm on days.
We definitely weren't planning on it being a weekly thing, but it has been going strong.
Yeah.
The day has changed, but at least it's been every week. Close to every week. We missed that week that we were both sick, and I am still coughing my head off.
Yeah. So the big thing that we can talk about that you did, as I didn't do a damn thing in between shows.
I feel like I get to be interviewed. Like
yeah.
I've always said I'm kind of a big deal and kind of famous, and now I get my first interview.
You're known by tens of people.
Tens, and the tens of listeners are going to get to hear my interview on the Big D and J Rowdy show.
Okay, so take us through the situation entering the event. Like,
all right,
we've heard on the show some things, but explain the whole deal.
Well, all right, so the big Opie Grudge event was Saturday. I went testing a couple weeks ago, and those that follow the bully page probably seen that I came out to the garage Thursday night to double check everything. I popped the hood, meth fitting, just dangling, just chilling on the hose, dangling. I'm like, what the hell, man? And you guys, most of the friends of the show know that the last time I went to an OP Grudge race with a big deal, what happened? Crap, what happened?
Uh-oh.
It
quickly froze up.
Oh, it's still going. Damn it! And we're going to leave it because the show's going to be long anyway. We had some technical
difficulties. All right, go ahead.
Maybe we can figure out how to edit it out later. So, anyways, the last time I had a big race at a grudge event, the damn meth fitting popped out.
Is that why they say meth not even once?
That was a corny joke, but it was funny. So, I got the damn thing in there. I super glued it back together. And Friday, I was kind of anxious and excited and kind of nervous, and it was only Friday. I don't know what the heck the problem was. So I got home, I got it on the trailer, and we went to bed and got up and went to the track. And we got there right around 9:30-ish. And it was cold. Dude, it was freaking cold.
It's been cold.
And which is good boots weather, but not weather that I want to be out walking around in. And we had a hell of a headwind too there. The headwind's important to note. Because I'm going to say my time, my personal best time. I'm going to put it on the radio show today, and I'm going to tell you what I ran that day. So we had a headwind that day, and that's the whole reason it was cold. When the wind wasn't blowing, it was all right.
Yeah.
But we get there and we get it off the trailer. Amazingly easy now due to like those race ramps I bought. Dude, cake.
All right.
I can't even tell it's going up a ramp now. It's awesome. So, and I had a race with Brian Money, who's my buddy. He did the roll bar in the bully, and he's a nice guy. He's got a Chevelle. Nothing too crazy, but he's fun to talk trash to back and forth because it doesn't really carry on long, and it's usually pretty short-lived. So he made some changes. Like he was a 4-speed stick. Now he's got a 350 turbo in there.
Okay.
And he was excited that he did that. He was like, I'm going to race the bully and Justin McMahon, and he named off a couple other people.
Yeah.
And I told him, I'll race you right off the trailer.
Yep.
So I get there, and I have to take my car off the trailer first because I'm not very good at putting it on and off the trailer yet. And he came down, we set up the race. And I'm like, where's your car at? He said, it's still on the trailer. We're racing off the trailer. You already lost. And I'm like, he was just giving me a hard time.
Yeah.
So we waited for the track to get worked in a little bit, heated up because it was cold. And we went up there, and I won. He expected me to win. I expected to win. It was just a deal just for sake of doing it. But I didn't share this with you. I had a yard sale on the way down the track.
You had a yard sale.
I have some shit flew off the bully. I felt like I was
driving.
What
were you selling?
The front side marker again.
Oh.
Remember it came off 2 years or so ago with you?
And we were walking the track forever trying to find it.
This time the damn thing flew off. I was in the spectator lane, which is the far lane of the track. The vacant lane. There's nobody ever over there. And it was a driver's side one, so it flew off into the middle of the track. And it ripped the socket out with it. I'm like,
wow.
I got to go find it because I need at least the socket. I'm not really worried about the side marker.
Right.
It was broke in half. Lens and inside, but not cracked.
Really?
So, and it had the socket. And there was 7 passes after me. I'm like, that's freaking awesome. I ran out there, grabbed it, pulled the socket out, and I got to thinking, I'm like, that's going to be a lot of unnecessary wind drag. I'm not really worried about it slowing me down, but wind's going to go in there, and it'll probably push something else off because my car...
Right.
Some things on my car are held together by zip ties.
Yeah.
Like the inner fender well. I really didn't want a bunch of wind rushing in and hitting that and then something breaking there. So I got out my super glue that I had to use at the last OP event that I had problems at. And I super glued it back together and we were good to go.
So the way I understand, I was at work that weekend, but the way I understand it, that was your best pass of the day. ET-wise, was it?
Actually, I think the best ET came against Jesse.
Okay.
I think. It was either against Brian or Jesse. The first 2 passes were within, what comes after 10th? Is it 100th?
Yeah.
Within.
A couple hundreds?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but what's important is when I had the yard sale and I went out there to get the part, I'm a big believer in karma. That's why I will never get on anybody when they break their shit and give them a hard time. So I went out
there.
So I went out there and I got the part. I had to go all the way down into past the traps is where it finally stopped.
Okay.
And Brian was nice enough to go down there with me. He's like, I seen it fly out because I had a front row view. I was like, at 8th mile. I was at half track when it flew out, so I seen where it went.
Right.
So I went down there and got it and come back, and Jesse was there, and of course he had to say something about me losing a part again.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to lose the part again. So I borrowed some 100-mile-an-hour duct tape from Brian.
Yep.
And I taped it up, and he pointed it out again that I had the Charger/Bully repair kit of tape and super glue. We'll move past that.
Okay.
So at this point, I had a race with Arthur left. He drives the maroon G-body, the Monty. Prince, we hadn't set anything up prior to this, but the last OP race, we both went 1-1 with each other, so we wanted to do a tiebreaker. It was kind of just, he's seen me, he's there before anything happened. He said, well, yeah, we're going to race. And so I had those 2. Then I had Jesse and Todd with Becky, which I now know what Becky stands for.
Yeah.
And I was really most nervous about those 2 races. Number one, because the last person in the world I ever wanted to lose to was Jesse.
Okay. So, quickly, give us the Reader's Digest version of the rivalry between you and Jesse, so we can get the full effect of why this was so important.
So, I beat him 2 years ago.
There was a time, it has to be said, that they weren't even, when I say they, it was kind of like we've talked before, Jesse and James are kind
right.
of buddies, like two of us are. And there was a time where I was kind of competitive with them, but then they discovered nitrous and became competitive with you.
Right.
And then they got excited to race you. And that's where this whole thing started.
Yeah, that's where it started, was basically between James and Jesse. When James had his red G8, and I actually was reminded of this by James at the Opie event, that I raced Jesse in James's car.
Yeah.
And that was when Jesse red lit like a -4, and I still beat him.
Yeah.
So I beat the white one, I beat the red one, and it was there was kind of like a little bit of tension between the group. I don't wasn't major, but it was like a little bit.
Yeah.
And the next year, which was last year, was when Jesse beat me. He beat me. I was trying some shit, and it just wasn't right. I showed up. Normally, I try to show up with my shit ready to go. I did it that time, and I wasn't.
Yeah.
So
didn't you have a boost tube fly off?
I had a meth hose pop off. Like the meth fitting actually come out of the boost hose.
Yeah.
So it was like about a pinky size hole that was letting boost out.
Yeah.
Then I put it back in and I super glued it with Jesse's mother-in-law or his wife or somebody's nail glue. And then, yes, the next race, it blew off the throttle body. I don't know when it blew off the throttle body, but so he won both races.
Right.
And
so
I'll be damned if I can make a Facebook post without hearing about it.
Right. Okay, no excuses. He won.
Yeah. Yeah, I showed up and I wasn't ready.
Right.
It's just if you show up to grudge race and you're not ready, that ain't an excuse.
That's on you. That's not on the other guy.
So I had to deal with it.
Yep.
And I might have said you only beat me because this happened, but not often. I usually try to own that shit, you know?
Yeah.
So
that went on for the last
year. A year. We were going to race at the Spring Opie, but I don't think he made it for some reason. His car wasn't done because he blew the motor in it.
Yeah.
With his nitrous setup. Yeah. Shortly after, or the same day that he beat me.
Yeah.
So we finally we're gonna throw down. These dudes, they made me wait. Me and Brian ran at like 11:30.
Yeah.
I don't think my next race was until damn near 1:30, 2 o'clock. I don't know. I'm sure one of them will say no. Oh, it was 12:32 or something by what's on the time slip. But the point is that I'm trying to make here is I had to wait a long ass time.
Right.
Because Jesse's car was smoking.
Okay.
Motherfucker, my car smokes to this day when I started up.
Yeah.
And Todd with Becky was I was his second grudge race. He was there more or less. He had a big grudge with another shop car.
Okay.
So I understand the fact that he wanted to wait until he ran that shop car first before he dealt with me.
Yeah. So
I get that.
You both had your own agendas.
So I finally get ready to go up to the line. And so now I strap myself in the car, and we learned from testing that it's easier if Jeanette helps me strap in.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I can't reach my helmet.
Right.
Because I can't move.
Yeah.
So this time strapping in went really quick and easy.
Yeah.
And she always does the same thing. And she's like, love you, good luck, gives me a kiss. And then I put my helmet on and get in line or whatever.
Yeah.
This all went by really fast. I get up there, we're the next set, and I'm like, I don't have my fucking helmet. So I'm strapped in the car, no helmet. I'm like, I can't get out and run back there.
Right.
So I got a helmet, and I'm like, so it's inside my head already. I'm already frazzled. Get up there, do the burnout. What's the bully do every time I do a burnout?
Stall.
Dude, dead. Dead in the... It was cranking and just... And, God dang it. So I get it to fire.
Yeah.
And our cars, if you stall while you're after the burnout, it'll go into limp mode, and then your transmission won't grab right away.
Right.
So I did what I had to do to get that working.
Yeah.
And dry hopped it. And I remember normally I'll just dry hop it after it stalls to make sure it's not still in limp mode.
Yeah.
Dude, this thing like squatted and lurched on the dry hop. I was like, oh yeah, I was ready
to go.
So we get up to the line. Finally, I mean, he actually was polite about staging. They don't have like a auto start at Lapeer, so that wouldn't have been a big deal.
Right.
But he was polite about that. We did our thing, and from previous episodes, people will notice that I said that I wanted to beat him.
Yeah.
In my mind, for me to beat him, what I wanted to do is I had to cut like a really good light.
Yeah.
I think I cut a .019 to his.
016. I saw the slip.
His was a 016.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were both right on.
Oh, yeah.
But now I'm going to sound like Street Outlaws. After the 60 foot, I didn't see him. It was.
Yeah.
It was. But I couldn't. I'm new to the harness thing. Yeah. And the way it holds me with my helmet, I can't even really get around to see good. Like I could see in my mirror where I needed adjusted for driving.
Right.
But I can't see where he was at. So I'm thinking he's in my blind spot and he's just right there and I can't see him. No.
Yeah.
I did gap him pretty good. And I celebrated so much in the car that I missed every single turn off and went all the way down to the last turn off.
Yeah.
The last turn off is pretty shitty.
So I've asked you before, but are we going to change the name of the car to the Gaposaurus Rex?
Dude, that day it gapped the shit out of two cars. And I was extremely happy. And if you look at the video that shared, Jeanette was pretty happy too.
Yeah.
Her commentary. But speaking of commentary, James, I thought was doing a live feed. But he said he was videotaping with his iPad, so he's walking around with this big-ass thing. He comes over, and he looks at me. He's like, so this guy is who this guy, and he turns and he points the camera at Jesse, says he's going to beat. And he shows, he's like, this guy is going to beat this guy. And I was just like, maybe. Because one of the reasons I don't like talking too much shit is because when you lose, it makes you look really bad.
Yeah.
So I try not to talk too much shit. So we get up there. James runs up into the tower and tells the announcer that we have a grudge race.
Okay.
There's a second video that I'm going to get up. It's up on the Bullies page, I think.
Yeah.
But you can hear the announcer tell everybody, we got a grudge race in the water box.
Yeah.
And Jeanette said people started paying attention.
Yeah.
And
it wasn't quite peso going.
No,
race.
No, but he was hyping it up as best as he could at Lapeer.
Right.
And the race happened.
Yeah.
And at the end, the announcer, just to kind of pour salt in the wound, was like, the Charger put a hurtin' on that G8. I was like, whoa. I didn't know that because I was too busy trying not to go off the track from celebrating.
Right.
And in the video, you can hear it pretty good, but Philly Smithwick is talking about something being all shiny and polished up and looking brand new right at the time he says that.
Right.
So, but
it was hard. I saw it was hard to hear, but if you know what you're listening for, you can hear it.
So I came back and Jeanette run up and I knew I beat him. So I was just like, well, what's my times? What's my reaction time? She told me the times and she told me my ET and I can't even recall it offhand. I'm going to take a quick break in a minute and run in and grab those slips because they were right on the kitchen table. But, I mean, that made my day.
Right, well, yeah.
I mean, then I I started to have to deal with the fact of possibly racing that red G8 and getting my feelings hurt.
Yeah.
Because I knew that red G8 was, after seeing him race that other shop car.
Yeah.
Oh, I looked right at Jeanette. I was like, I can't beat that.
Right.
And she just looked at me. She's like, what do you mean? I said, did you see how fast that thing is?
Right.
Because I made a couple new friends in the racing scene. Blake, he's got a big tire, third gen Camaro.
Okay. Yep.
And he went down the track first pass with Todd.
Yeah.
So I seen Blake slip, and I knew from watching the race that the red car let out.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, that definitely ain't gonna go over well. And his light was 0.004.
Oh wow.
I was like, I ain't gonna but I'm gonna go up there and give it hell because I'd rather go up there and lose than look like a bitch in that race.
Right.
So actually, I'm gonna run in and get those times before we move past the Jesse race.
Okay.
Should I pause it?
Yep.
And we're back.
Yeah.
All right. So before we move on from the Jesse race, I told you guys I would tell you my times. So that race with him, I'm not going to disclose what the gap was, because I don't want to sell him out on what his time would be.
Right.
People would be able to do the backward math.
Yeah.
So
the picture of the gaps on.
Yeah.
The show page. That should be enough.
Also, I think the show's #1 fan just changed their Facebook profile picture.
Yeah. My wife.
So, aside from the .001 light I cut in your car.
Yeah.
That was my best light, a .019.
Yeah.
And the car 60 foot at a 161. And ended up at a 1080 with an 8 at 127.29. So that was my best pass of the day. My best pass ever was 1801. And I think I went about closer to 128. I was only a couple off of 128.
Yeah.
So I was pumped. Dude, that was awesome. That was like the best pass of the day, my best reaction time. When I got back, I thought, because it felt like it was the best pass ever.
Yeah.
But that was into a headwind. Like, it was blowing. So, without the headwind, bench racing, that was a 1070 pass.
Right.
So, I was pretty geeked about that. But, so then I had to wait around. Todd had to race this other car.
Yeah. That
looked badass. It was a GXP G8 with LSA swap or something in there. And, but it was a stick. I don't drag race with a stick.
No.
So I had to wait. This is going to make me look bad. They raced 2 times.
Yeah.
I went back there to get Todd, and he's like, well, I'm going to run this guy again. And okay, I took the last turn off. If you race at Lapeer and you can avoid that last turn off, do it. There is a culvert that goes across it, and I bottomed out and ripped both my exhaust clamps off that hold my mid pipe to my catback.
Yeah.
So when I got back, I put it halfway up on the trailer, just on the ramps to get it up high enough so I can get underneath there. But then the rumors started flying around that I broke my shit.
Yeah.
And I went up there, and the guy that was racing Todd was like, well, you're broke. I'm like, no, it's not broke. I'm ready to go. And this guy was fixing to get bullied too. Because, we're going to get Jesse's stuff running right again. We're going to go again. I was like, I told him if he wants to run it back, because the bully was on fire. And I was on fire with the lights at night. I would have ran him 30 times and still beat him every time.
Yeah.
So Todd's like, I'll race him the second time, then I'll hot lap it with you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we get up there, and I cut a hell of a light with him too. And that was wherever the hell it's at, a .036, which is the only way I knew I was going to beat him.
Yeah.
That dude cut a .2.
Okay.
So I was out. And I'm feeling real good down the track. I get to about the 1,000 foot, and I'm like, I'm going to do it.
Right.
Like, yeah, this is going to be a good weekend.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I'm like, the hell? This guy, man, he freight trained. And I was like, I just kind of sat there like, oh, like, damn. Luckily, he's a cool guy. That car is actually more modded than what I thought. It's got racing coilovers, and it's got the Whipple kit. It's got really nice weld wheels on it. I mean, it's pretty well. E85. It's got like a stage 4 fuel system on it.
Okay.
We're talking about all that, and I don't know what happens to make people think that the Bully is something more than what it is. I'm still on a stock fuel pump. Stock fuel line. I did change out injectors and went bigger than what I needed to, just so I didn't have to buy them later.
Right.
But I'm sitting there talking to people, and they're like, well, you got this and that. I'm like, no, no, I don't. I literally built this, designed the build myself with the help of a shop.
Right.
It's not a shop car.
Right.
I didn't take it to Southern Hot Rod and say, hey.
Right.
I worked with the shop to design my build, and I read like crazy on shit. Like, I'm always on the forums or Facebook reading on shit. So it wasn't a shop car, and it is way more stock than what people think. And I was just astonished to hear what people were thinking or said about the whole thing. So that kind of made me feel good, though.
Yeah, you probably got according to them, you probably have a forged bottom end and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if people ask me what's in there, I don't do the smart ass thing and say it's stock.
Right.
I mean, obviously it has a blower on it and a cam.
Yeah.
Now it goes 1080s with ease. I mean, every pass that day was within a tenth.
Yeah.
So next year, probably not so much. So it's going up for the year. So I'm going to ride out this whole year on that victory.
Yeah.
We do have to, probably should report that Jesse burned his shit down.
Yeah. It's, I'm not going to get down on somebody or rub it in their face that lost a motor because I've been there.
Yep. But when you give a guy a hard time about having to duct tape in his side marker, and then you give him a hard time because he has to super glue in his meth hose.
Yeah.
I don't do that, man. I have some friends of mine that in the boating world that gave me a hard time about all the problems I had with my boat.
Yeah.
And I was like, you don't want to do that? Well, sure shit. Their impeller went bad and they overheated their motor, or, everybody runs into problems. So I try not to do that.
Right.
So, but I told him, he said, I want to put this on there. And I said, do whatever you got to do. Just don't burn it down. And that's two nitrous cars 3 times that burned down after racing the Bully.
Yeah.
So.
You're not helping your selling of nitrous to our house, right?
Ain't no Hemis got burned down. No Hemis got burned down.
So, all in all, it was a good day at the track for you, though.
Yeah, it was definitely fun. I came home expecting to party and celebrate. I celebrated with 1 beer, the weirdest scary movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And then went to bed.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's the life of being old.
Yeah.
So
in your 30s.
But man, that was I'm still partying. I'm on my 5th beer right now. I've been partying since Saturday when I got home with 1 beer. So.
All right. Well, this is the random episode.
Right.
So since we covered the grudge racing, let's grab a random topic.
Let's back up a minute because of grudge racing. Now, the biggest, most anticipated grudge race in the world is probably not ever going to happen.
That's true.
the grudge racing world suffered a great loss over the weekend. Not a person. Everybody's okay.
Yeah.
But a car.
No people were harmed in this podcast.
But man, does that suck. We're never going to see Birdman Shadow.
Yeah.
We could see Shadow 2.0 maybe, but it's not. To me, it's not going to be the same.
Yeah.
So I don't know if anybody's seen that video. The Mustang flew.
The Shadow. There was a post on a Facebook page that we're both on, and somebody got some, we'll call it incorrect information, and was like, look, guys, a Dodge Shadow flipped. And no, the car's called the Shadow. And, it's a Fox Body Mustang.
I don't know that the Shadow is really a cool name, because my cousin wanted to name the Nightmare, his Audi, the Shadow.
Yeah.
And when he brought it up, his wife was like, Obi, the Shadow is gay. Like, you're not naming your black car the Shadow.
Wow.
So it's kind of, I don't know, it seems kind of generic to me for a name. But anyways, everybody knows it as the Shadow.
Yeah.
You might think the bully's name is retarded. It is, actually. Because now there's like a worldwide revolt against bullies.
Yeah.
Which is good. Bullying is bad, but not the bully car.
Right.
But, so we won't get to see that, and I'm really disappointed because I'm Team Birdman all the way.
Birdman fanboy.
So, all right, now we can get to the random topics.
Here we go.
So we said we were going to do it with a live feed, but we decided it would be kind of clumsy.
Clunky and clumsy.
So we drew 4 topics.
Yep.
Big D drew 2, I drew 2. And then we haven't looked at them. We put them in the middle of the table and mixed them up.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to open one, and we've been going for about 32 minutes. So we're going to fit as many of these in. I like the episodes to be about an hour.
Yeah.
Because I like to listen. So we'll fit as many of these in as we can. We'll talk about each one of them as long as we can.
I've kind of instilled a time limit of an hour on the episodes. So, here we go. First one.
All right.
Probably your favorite of the bunch.
Strip club etiquette.
Thanks, Sam.
Wow.
It depends on where you go.
Yeah, I mean,
I've been to one Flint strip club. And I've been to one in Saginaw several times. And until I had been to the one in Flint, I had no idea how spoiled I was in Saginaw.
Well, the one in Flint probably wasn't that great.
No. So it was definitely a different experience. Some people might not be a fan of the whole thing at all, which I understand, but
hey, single moms need to eat too. All right?
They do.
That was wrong. Not all dancers are single moms. Some of them are just single.
Yeah,
but,
right. I've always been like under the impression of like you like look and don't touch. And that's always been the case. But I was at that place in Flint, and that was not the case. I remember sitting there, and this chick is just grinding on this dude, and he's like rubbing his hands up and down her.
Yeah.
And I'm looking over there, and I just have this like, I can just feel I have this like shocked look on my face. And she looks over at me and gives me the dirtiest look I've ever seen in my life. And I'm just sitting there like, you know what? Whatever, you're the one.
Right, because you see in the movies, like, I feel like your first strip club experience, all you have to go on is what you see in the movies.
Yeah.
And most of the time, if the guy in the movie touches a girl, they get in some trouble.
Right.
So here my first time, I'm like, I'm going to sit on my hands. I'm not having this dude bust my ass because no way.
Right.
Like, and then they, like, think you're disgusted by him and you don't want to, I'm like, well, I don't know.
Right,
you know, like, So I don't want to say I spent a lot of time in strip clubs. But I do have a couple friends that are dancers.
You met them at the library, right?
Yes, exactly. We're not covering that today. But so I have been there, and I won't pay. Like when I win, I wouldn't pay for dances because I just don't. I mean, I have a race car to pay for.
Right.
I'm not so. But I remember sitting in one of Flint's finer establishments that doesn't serve alcohol, so that should tell you right there.
Tell you where.
And my friend comes over, and she is fairly disgusted looking, and I just kind of blew it off, and well, don't wear sweatpants or basketball shorts or gym shorts to the strip club is what I'm getting at here. Okay. Because that would be the proper etiquette. Don't do that, because I don't know that they're expecting all that business for your $10. So, and you should probably not go up to tip row up there right around the stage if you're not going to tip.
Yeah.
That's probably the most amount of etiquette that I got.
Okay.
I don't really you shouldn't twist your head for a better angle when you're up by the stage. Like, don't twist your head around and look for a better angle. This is a good one that this came up after I've had so many beers. I hope my mother-in-law doesn't listen to this episode.
Yeah. Oh, we're sorry, Mrs. Geisler. Not really.
So that's probably about it. I always like to look at their shoes and wonder what they're thinking of when they're on stage.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I mean, what do you think? If you are a dancer and you listen to this show, comment. What do you think about when you're up there? What do you think about? We'll end this topic on that.
I hope we get some comments on that.
It could be interesting. They might think about playing jump rope.
All right, next one.
Skip it.
Background song. If your life had a background song, what would it be?
Oh. Badass by Saliva.
Constantly 24/7.
All the time.
While you're sitting there eating your TV dinner.
Yeah.
Nice.
I haven't really put much thought into that. I don't know, because I did post the other day asking for a theme song for the Bully.
Yeah.
And as I was looking for a theme song, I heard Badass and was like, oh, so that's why that came to mind for this topic.
Yeah.
But I don't really know. What would you?
I said, and I'm probably pulling a Zach here, but answering the question I want to answer, I guess.
Well, you can answer it, the one you want to answer, and then we're going to make you answer the question.
Okay. I said I would exchange all the songs in the world for Jeremy Clarkson to narrate my life.
Yeah, Jeremy Clarkson. Yeah, Morgan Freeman. If you had to pick anybody, would be awesome.
Oh,
people would probably fall asleep, but my life is boring enough anyway.
No, I'm a Clarkson fanboy, like you are
with Birdman.
With Birdman. So, but I don't know.
I can't really think of. What about "Tell Me What You Want" by Spice Girls, or "Party in the USA" by what's that girl's name? Miley Cyrus.
Miley Cyrus.
Oh man, I used to tease my cousin John. I go over to work on his car in his garage, and most car guys listen to some sort of rock in their garage. I go over there. He's got it on CK 105, and it's playing "Party in the USA."
All right.
And I'm like, what? Oh, we can't turn wrenches to this shit. So we changed it, and through conversation decided that one day we were going to show up down to the parking lot at, this was back when, it used to be Caribou, the Caribou Coffee on Woodward in that parking lot by Potbelly's or whatever.
Yeah.
And we said we were going to show up there, and I'll ride in his car with him, and we will listen to Spice Girls and wear pink shirts and roll the windows down and play it really loud when we show up. And sadly enough, we never got around to that.
Yeah.
I don't really know a lifelong theme song.
My favorite song is Hysteria by Def Leppard.
That is a good song.
So there you go. We'll just say that.
Yeah. My favorite song, though, would make a horrible, horrible theme song. It's sad.
Yeah.
Is Lynyrd Skynyrd's Freebird.
Oh,
that's
boy.
Not a good theme song, but that's my favorite. Maybe anything by Godsmack. Crying like a bitch.
Oh, shit. Okay. All right. Here we go. Next one.
Dang, man. We still got 20 minutes left.
Hobbies at home.
Oh.
Basically, what are your hobbies outside of cars?
I like to nap. Yeah. I don't know if that's a hobby.
That's my winter hobby.
I plan that. I try to plan that into my days. But Jeanette is not much for napping, so I don't get to nap much. But try to think of what I do in the wintertime, because really in the summertime, all I do is car stuff or motor stuff outside.
Yeah.
I like jigsaw puzzles.
Okay. I thought about ordering a puzzle with a picture of my car on it.
Talk to Jeanette, because we did that for my grandma. It was a picture. She likes barns.
Yeah.
And we found a barn up on her color tour that we took last year around this time. And it was not bad price. It was cool. But I like jigsaw puzzles, and I like to play cards.
Yeah.
But usually it's just me and her, and we can't really. Two people can't play cards.
I wish I could play more cards, but play euchre, because I used to really like euchre.
I played so much euchre in high school during lunch. It was ridiculous.
Sabrina just can't follow euchre.
Takes some. I feel like trying to understand the rules to it, you can't just do. You have to be told the rules as you're playing, and then you have to play at least 3 or 4 games before you really start to understand it. But that's about. I like the
Red Wings.
Yeah, hockey season.
Hockey is kind of my winter thing that kind of helps me get through.
Yeah, I used to play hockey.
Yeah, me too.
And I was really into hockey, but not. That
was kind of like a junior high thing.
Oh, okay.
With me in high school, I played it in high school too, but. Once I got into high school and got my license, hockey became less important and cars became more important.
Yeah, cars will always be more important.
So,
I say it. I actually, you know what? Now that we're getting like this, I sound like a boring ass person that does nothing but have strippers for friends and hot rods. This episode sucks.
My phone just died too.
I got a timer right here. We're at 45 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. I work.
Yeah, well, you have a kid, so your hobby could be playing with your kid.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not really much time between the one hobby that you really do like, which is your car, and a kid. So
It kind of takes up the rest of my time. But,
I used to be really into darts.
Yeah.
I play darts a lot. I haven't lately.
So there's a dartboard in here I've never seen open.
Yeah. Oh, man. We used to be out here every Friday and Saturday in the early spring or fall when there wasn't a lot of car stuff going on playing darts. It's I Google some weird shit. Not weird.
What kind of weird shit?
Just something that I don't know. I'll Google. I Google all kinds of stuff.
I mean, I work nights sometimes, and I have nights off during the week, and there's nothing to do but sit and watch TV like a weirdo.
Yeah.
So I'll be looking up car stuff on the internet and
YouTube, man. You start off on one thing and you're completely in left field with another. Sometimes it's just a great adventure. Like, too bad you couldn't record where your YouTube adventure took you.
Yeah. Start out watching drag racing, and all of a sudden you're watching two dogs fighting or something.
Yeah. Or, dude, that little dog, that little dash hound that they put in costumes and he walks around. What is his name?
Crusoe?
Yes! I watch that.
Celebrity dash hound.
Yes, I watch him often. Lately, this is going to go with why you're laughing. I said often pretty flamboyantly. But I've been stuck on Netflix watching Heart of Dixie, which is definitely a girl show, but I'm stuck on it, and I've been hooked on that lately. But I don't know that that's really a hobby. Most people
How did Caruso, the celebrity dash hound, make an appearance on our show?
Because dude, he's awesome, man. That little dog, he's got 50 bazillion more times followers than us. What is wrong with you fans?
Do you think Ginger has a crush on him?
Probably. He's like what's the dude? I'm drawing a blank. Remember, I've had
the
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, there you go.
Of
Toxin.
Yep.
Jesus. Okay.
Oh, yeah, but as far as hobbies go, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, sleep.
I'm
pretty good at eating.
Dude, I like to eat too.
Yeah.
Tacos though, it's got to be tacos. Like if I'm ever just
some tacos
in a mood to snack, I want like a taco 12-pack.
We were a snack there.
We were at my grandma's house, and I told Jeanette, I'm like, I'm hungry, and she, well, what do you want? I said, I want tacos. She said, we can stop and get some tacos on the way home. I'm like, a taco 12-pack. We can share. I said, no, I'm getting the 12-pack.
Yeah, have you seriously tried to eat a taco 12-pack by yourself?
Yes.
Did you get hard shell?
Soft.
Oh.
I can't do hard shell.
Say, they get soggy before you can finish it.
Really? I can't do hard shell. The only hard shell ones I could do are the Dorito Locos.
I had one of those for the first time the other day. It was awful.
Really?
Yeah, I couldn't stand it.
The Cooler Ranch ones I'm not a fan of, but the original is good to go. You know what I'm thinking? With the way this random thing is going, we're going to have a lot more topics come in from listeners because, I mean, let's face it, shit kind of got crazy there for a second. Next thing Jeanette's going to send me a text message tomorrow. Her mom's going to text me, why did you do it with the strippers?
Right. Okay. This is the one I know absolutely nothing about. Snapchat filters. What's the best Snapchat filter?
I don't know much. I just know what I see people use on mine. There's a mile-an-hour one, though.
Yeah.
So, evidently, you can Snapchat while you're moving in a car.
Oh, I saw that.
Which, if you're a passenger, would be okay.
Yeah.
But most of the time I see it, it's not.
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool. That's what I would use. But some girls on Snapchat that use the beautiful filter. It puts like a crown of flowers on their head.
Okay.
And actually makes them look not like themselves.
Okay.
I don't know. It puts like some kind of color or something on their face and their lips are different. Whatever. Yeah. But Justin Keith, who, if you guys don't know him, he runs the Streetcar Takeover.
Yeah.
That guy likes the B filter. Yeah. He uses it. It makes your voice high pitch and turns your face into a bee. That dude, one night, I think I had an hour and a half or more of Snapchats of him being a B. There was a ton. That's about as far as I know with the Snapchats. I don't use it too much.
I have a Snapchat account, but I don't think I've ever used it. So, not very good.
Yeah, that's we're at 50 minutes now.
Okay. Well, I think we're good.
Right, because we can definitely talk about you guys suggesting more random stuff for us to talk about.
So we're going to need that through the winter.
Right, and just remember that my mother-in-law listens to this show, and if you have any more things like strip club etiquette, maybe when I don't have so many beers, I'll be a little bit better about that.
We're sorry, Mrs. Geisler.
But so what do we have coming up next week? I don't think there's anything. We got your birthday bash, Big D's birthday bash.
Yep. Not gonna know who I am.
Usually, Big D's the designated driver.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's going to be this time.
No, not this time.
Luckily for him, I'm going to be.
All right.
Probably not.
Somebody will be.
So we got that. That's not in the racing world.
No. No.
I don't think there isn't even any like big pro or big name like shit coming up. Like there's no Mercy already happened. There's no big radio races coming up. There's not even any big live stream no preps coming up that I know of.
No, we're pretty much winding right down.
What's good for us though is the South still does race car shit.
Yeah.
So there should still be something to watch.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll keep up on my build. Maybe I'll do that, but over the winter. But we need more random topics for the winter because more random topics for next week, unless you want us to skip, because we don't have anything going for next week.
Right.
But the week after,
I feel like in the wintertime might be an every 2 week thing.
Yeah.
That might have to happen. But,
we could do guests. Yeah. We could have guests over the winter.
Yeah. If you're interested in being a guest on the show, really, whether a race car guy or
not.
If you just want to come and make fun of us, we'll accept that too.
Yeah, you can make fun of us live on the show. But just remember, it's our show.
Right. So, get a hold of us on the Big D and J Rowdy Show Facebook page.
Yeah.
Our YouTube channel, the Podbean. Email us at bigdandjrowdy@gmail.com. Send us a hate mail, whatever.
No rude comments this time. Oh, there was one. What was it? Why are we? No, we're so bad, or you guys suck. They want Zach back on.
Yeah, we tried.
Yep, we tried.
To get Zach back on.
Zach was too busy.
But he is busy doing paint corrections on cars.
Yeah.
Which is much more profitable than our podcasts. So, no Zach.
So, if you would like our podcast to be more popular, why don't you tell your friends about us? Share us.
I had, I guess, it wasn't even really that mean of a comment, but it's kind of funny. I got told that I should buy a Mustang.
Oh.
So my wife would actually let me drive it. So it wasn't even really mean. It was probably like...
Was that a break room?
Kind of. Like,
those guys.
It's like good-natured advice. Like, if you ever want to drive your race car again, buy a Mustang.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, to be fair, you did own one.
I did. It was cool in theory. I secretly kind of want a better version of that one, but I'm probably never going to do it. Because, yeah.
Fox bodies are cheap and cheap to make go fast. So,
yeah.
But, all right. So I think that's it.
Yeah.
We'll try to be back next week if we have something. If not, it'll probably be the week after.
Yep.
Tell you all about Big D's crazy escapades on his birthday party. Hopefully.
Maybe you can tell me what happened.
We should GoPro. We should put a GoPro on your chest. But well, that's it.
All right. See ya.
See ya.